Some things that I noticed when I corrected some of your guys' exams are some silly mistakes. It's not that you guys don't know how to factor. My aha moment this last week is that you don't know how to factor completely. Let me say that again. A lot of you guys know how to factor, get halfway there, but then you stop. You don't recognize that you can still keep going. You can still keep simplifying. So if I can equate this to, like, I don't know, 10th grade, or maybe even earlier. I'll give you an easier example. Let's say go back to 3rd grade and a teacher would give you like 5/10. Some of you guys are stopping at 5/10 when you could simplify that to 1/2. You don't know that you're supposed to keep going. So what I learned is that you guys need some practice on when do you recognize when to stop and when to keep going. Fair game is that you're going to have one more factoring exam, everybody will, in May. That will also be worth another 100 points. So there's people in here who still need to keep retaking until you pass that first one, and then all of us will be taking a second one that will be worth another 100 points. Surprise, you will not know when, sometime in May. So the stuff that we're about to go over is totally fair game for your exam in May. So you'll be given something like this: x cubed minus 5x squared minus x plus 5. Oh, there's a really bad glare, so yeah. I don't know if we want to switch it. Is it better over there, maybe? Oh, thanks, sweetheart. 4 items means that I should always try the lightning bolt first. So I recognize that I can take out an x squared here, and I'm left with x minus 5. Here I can take out a -1, and I'm left with x minus 5. So I put these bad boys together, and I see that that's going to be x squared minus 1 and x minus 5. A lot of people stop right there, and they don't recognize that this right here is a difference of squares. A difference of squares means that there's this minus sign here, and that this is a square and this is a square. In other words, this is a square because x times x is x squared. This is a square because 1 times 1 is 1. So this is a difference of 2 squares. So I can keep going. Is this a difference of squares? Yes, because you factor out of 4 and you're left with x squared minus 4, and that's its difference of squares? Or what times what is 4x squared? 2x, and here 4. So they're difference of squares. Is this a difference of squares? Why is it a no? Is this a difference of squares? No. This is a sum. Does this work for a sum of squares? It only works for what? Difference. So this is not. Okay, that is not a difference of squares. Is this a difference of squares? Can you imagine a box, please? Can you imagine a square? Is something times something give me x to the 6? Yes, x cubed. So I ask you again, is this a difference of squares? Yes. Is this a difference of squares? Yes, why? This right here. Is this a difference of squares? Is something times something itself give you x to the 10? Yes, what is it? X to the 5th. What is, you guys, what's x to the 5th times x to the 5th? X to the 10th, right? So is this a difference of squares? Yes, it is. Is this a difference of squares? Why? X to the 10th, and this one is just 2. Okay, we're starting to get that. Is this a difference of squares? Have a seat, babe. Sorry. Is this a difference of squares? Why not? Is there a number you can multiply by itself and get 25? Like add it twice, I mean? No, right? So this is not a difference of squares. All right, now let's go back to this. We're not done here. Now that we know that this is a difference of squares, let's go back up here and then finish factoring this. How do you factor x squared minus 1? Yeah, so the answer is x plus 1, x minus 1, x minus 1. Cyan, fight it there. All right, let's try another one. Example 2. Another thing that a lot of us forget is x to the 4th minus 2x squared minus 15. Remember that if this guy is double the power of this guy, then you're just going to pretend that the double is not there. You're just going to treat it as x squared minus 2x minus 15. Factor it normally and then go back to it. So what multiplies to negative 15 and adds to negative 2? 5 and 3, but which one's negative? Minus 5 and plus 3. But that's if the middle term is x. What is the middle term? X squared. So your real answer is x squared minus 5 and x squared plus 3. Is this a difference of squares? Is this a difference of squares? So you're done. When do you get to do this? When this power is double that power. If this is a 4 and this is a 2, that's double. If it said like x to the 10 and the middle term was x to the 5th, that's double. If this one said x to the 6th and this says x cubed, that's double. If this said x20 and this said x10, that's double. That's when you're allowed to do that. All right, let's do one more example, and then you guys can do a doyo. Let's say we have x to the 6th minus 26x cubed minus 27. Do you see the double rule? So I can really rewrite this as x squared minus 26x minus 27 and factor that. Cyan, come on babe, you gotta fight it. What multiplies to negative 27 and adds to negative 26? Very good. Negative 27 and positive 1. But the middle term is not x. What is it? X cubed. So you need to do x cubed plus 1 and x cubed minus 27, which is another thing a lot of you forgot. This is the sum and difference of cubes. And anytime I see a sum and difference of cubes, I have to use SOAP. This time it's a cube. That means I need a number that is multiplied by itself 3 times to get these 3 values or 4 values. So I'm going to ask you, why is this a sum of cubes? And your answer is going to be is because A is x and B is 1. That means A is x, that's x times x times x is x cubed. And B, which is 1, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Now answer me this question. Why is this a difference of cubes? What's your A? X. What's your B? 3. So these are sums and difference of cubes. Alright, this is the part that you have to have memorized by now. God bless you. You have to have the formulas memorized for the sum and difference of cubes. So if it's a sum, which is A plus A cubed plus B cubed, sorry. Remember, it's same, opposite, always positive. If it's a difference, again, same thing. Same, opposite, always positive. What do I mean by that? Same sign as that, opposite sign as that, always positive. So, same, opposite, always positive. So now you just got to figure out what's your A and your B and plug and chug. All right, let's do it. What's your A and your B here? For this one, what's your A? X. What's your B? 1. How about over here? What's your A? X. What's your B? 3. Cyan, you okay? Now, how do you know which one to plug it into? Which one is this one? A sum or difference? Boom. So everywhere I see an A, I'm going to plug in X. And everywhere I see a B, I'm going to plug in 1. How about this one? Is it sum or difference? Difference. So everywhere I see an A, I'm going to plug in X. Everywhere I see a B, I'm going to plug in 3. All right, so here we go. This one, this x cubed plus 1. That's going to be x plus 1. And then x squared minus x plus 1. The second one is x plus 3, and then x squared plus 3x plus 9. What do you guys think? Doable? All right, so what are the 3 things we need to factor completely? One is difference of squares. The second is, hello, talk to me, you're scaring me. We just did both of them. What are they? It's right here. The sum of cubes or the, you're not done if you see any one of those 3 things. There's your doyo. Yeah, baby. Oh yeah, it's x minus 3, sorry. Sorry guys. X minus 3. Thank you. Alright, try this on your own. See how far you can get by yourself, and then check with your group if you get stuck. X to the 9th minus x to the 6th minus x cubed plus 1. Alright, let's go through it, and then we will go ahead and take our quiz. First, you should have done lightning bolt. Take out next to 6, you're left with x cubed minus 1. Boom, what should you see right there? What is this? Difference of, everybody, this is the difference of cubes. Take out a negative 1, you're left with the x cubed minus 1. That's my x cubed minus 1. On the outside, I have an x to the 6th minus 1. Boom, I see it again. What is that? Again, a difference of cubes. Okay? Getting us to either a difference of squares first. Do you guys see how this is x cubed minus 1 and x cubed plus 1? Do you guys see that? Say yes or no. Do you see that? Then we have a difference in sum of cubes again. Everybody see that? So here we have a difference of cubes. So then your A is x and your B is 1. This x to the 6th is a difference of squares. X cubed plus 1 and x cubed minus 1. And then these two, again, are sum and difference of cubes. So you have to do it again with these bad boys. Do you guys see how x cubed minus 1 and x cubed minus 1 comes up twice? Alright, so how do you factor x cubed minus 1? What's that first binomial? X minus 1. Very good. So why is there 2 of them? Because there's 2 of these that you're factoring. So you have x minus 1 squared. There's 2 of them. And then you have x squared plus x plus 1. 2 of them. You with me? Because it's these 2. And then how do you factor x cubed plus 1? What's that first binomial? X plus 1. Boom, it's right there. And then the rest of it is x squared minus x plus 1. Questions on factoring?